here we are today for the first time we're doing a beautiful ocean film festival. And all you lovely folks who got up on a Sunday morning, you deserve to get a hand. I'm going to request Mr. Ramakrishnan if he can please come on stage. He's a GM of NFDC. He's been there for many years, 30 long years. How many of you all have been to the beautiful NFDC premises? You have. It's wonderful. It's like a little gem in the middle of the city. But we'll talk about all of these things once we get the event officially started. Mr. Ramakrishnan, I should be using your full name, but you know, he is a sailor and his children are sailors. And so he lives by the ocean. And the ocean is in him. So what better person, not just as a GM of NFDC, but as a person who obviously loves the ocean. So I'm really proud and really privileged to have you here. Can I have Dr. Abhishek Sattam? Thank you. It's so wonderful to have you here. Is Dr. Arpita Sharma here? Welcome, warm welcome to you. And it's so nice to have you here. All of you are agreeing that those are causes we all stand for? Yes. Yes? Nice big yes? Yes. Otherwise we can't inaugurate this festival? Yes. Yes? So for that we're going to ask Ramakrishnan, very difficult job. A very difficult job. And that is that you're going to have to water that beautiful plant. Let's give a big hand and let us. And so with that, we declare the Ocean Film Festival open. Thank you, Mr. Ramakrishnan. It is now and declared open. I've already given quite an introduction when we went to NFDC and we met him. There was such an openness. There was no, why another film festival? It was like, what a beautiful idea. What a beautiful idea. Just something that the city needs, something the country needs. And it took us, we didn't have to sell the idea, right, Paresh? It was just accepted with open arms and an open heart. And it was just wonderful to get that sense. And it wasn't seen as, well, it's a film festival and that's what we do. But here's a cause that's close to my heart and should be close to the heart of everybody. And that was so welcoming, and that was so, all the expertise, all the wonderful knowledge shared, and all the wonderful support to make it happen today. So I'm going to ask Mr. Ramakrishnan to come and just say a few words to us about what he feels and why he loves the oceans and about this festival. I know he's a wonderful speaker, so I don't have to tell him what to speak about. He's going to inaugurate this for us officially.
Good morning, everyone. Dignitaries on the dais. Mr. Paresh is here. It's a great honor for me to stand here, and I would like to give some knowledge about the organization initially to take you further so that you will better understand that why I am standing here. I'm from the National Film Development Corporation. It's a Government of India enterprise. It's mainly mandated to produce quality films, we call it good cinema, and also promote film festivals in India and abroad. And also we preserve films which are made in digital or celluloid, whichever format for the posterity, and many other activities we are allied with. When you talk about film festival, what is the need of a festival? The festival is not only bring films, it also bring culture and the temperament of people of the land where it comes from. If a film comes from somewhere from the northern hemisphere, we would like to know that what kind of the custom and the practices and also the tradition being followed by those people, and the temperament and their mindset, all these things. So it's very important to understand the territory and where it is coming from, so that we better understand the character, the protagonist or whoever acting in the film. We better understand that what is, intend to convey and express to the audience. So the first film festivals are very much needed. Not only it is to talk about universal language, but also to understand the specific mind and quality and temperament and whatever we call it to express. So even small silence of a scene or a touch of a child or a mother's laughter, we don't need any translation. But inside what is inside it is portrayed. You need to know that where this is coming from. So it is why I am saying is that ocean is very related to that. There are several festivals, but it is the first time when Zia and Paresh came to me and told that we are going to organize the Ocean International Film Festival. I surprised. Nobody has thought of it to so far to make a film festival. Bringing different kind of the elements from all over the world to portray that why and how important the ocean is today. Because it is a universal language. Everybody is talking about climate change. It is a major impact, and the temperature or whatever we call it, what is happening around the globe it's worrisome, and people have started realizing that things are to be looked into. So when they come to me and then spoke about the ocean, I really loved the idea, and let's do it. And NFDC is an organization meant to promote not only the young talent and also the young ideas, which is being cherishing in every moment. So that's where it started, and here today, and it is a small beginning, and the association of NFDC will grow in years. And as he mentioned that we have a beautiful premises. It is must visit. Who are coming to Mumbai or living in Mumbai should come to our premises, because we have a museum, National Museum of Indian Cinema. Talks about the 100 years of journey, how the cinema came to India and traveled all these years, and how the country and the people been carried along with the movement of the cinema. So it portrays the entire artifacts to present in a manner that understand our culture, tradition, and the history of our country. So, and also we have a kids section where the children can really enjoy. We have a complete one floor for kids. They can explore how the special effects and how the different areas of the filmmaking has been used nowadays. So that's a beautiful section. So the family can come and have complete round of the museum. So I welcome you. This is the opportunity to welcome you all to my museum to see that and experience our 100 years of cinema. And second thing, I am also closely, as you rightly mentioned, that I also have a heart which has been closely associated with the sailing. I love sailing because it changed my life. I have to tell you a story that how it changed my life. You may ask like how sailing changed. It did in my life because I have 2 kids. I have to go back, rewind my thing 10 years back. So I was given 2 children. My elder son is autistic, and he is having attention ADHD, attention deficit disorder, and also associated autistic spectrum. So we have tried all the sports, for him to be with and understand, because he has many difficulties. He cannot communicate. He has a fear tendency, and he cannot socialize because he is not able to communicate with others. And also because of that, there is associated, kind of lacking he was carrying. So it's what's going, and we were struggling how to bring my child in the mainstream. So one sudden day, there is God-given moment. So I was traveling to Andaman with one of my friends. We were talking about family, and I narrated my son, what is this going through. And he said that, why don't you try sailing? Simply he said that, why don't you try sailing? And Chennai is the best place. We are in Chennai. There are 2 sailing clubs. They have been very, very, aggressive in promoting the sport. So I was little knowledge about sailing, not even little. I was sailing means something else for me, So the next day when I returned to Chennai, I just immediately went to the harbor, and a few friends me helped to get into the association. And my both the son, like my elder son was, that time it was 9-year old, my younger son was 6.5, 7-year old. So we both of them have been enrolled in the sailing club, and that's where it started. They was made progressive changes when he got into the sailing. Initially it was little hesitant for him, but after that, once he picked up and then made friends, and then his brother always accompanying him. So he find that some comfort in that, and in the water he has to do the survival of fittest. He has to do something to sail and come to the shore, or and that made him to talk to the nature, touch the water, feel the wind, because he always liked to feel the wind, like he always keeps so. And also the waves, and then he picked up swimming in the sea. The kids jump into the water, they enjoy, and then he also started, and then everybody started liking him, and every kids, seeing them sailing, they all become friends. And Neil, other side, is become a national champion. He was 3 times youngest sailor in the India. You can just Google and see him, Neil Anand sailing. They also, both the kids, there are many articles in newspaper about both the kids. And he took, the very first year, become the youngest sailor, Neil. So we felt that Neil should be the motivation point for them. So when Neil pushes himself, they also started going behind him, because Neil started making medals, and then the achievements, and then the pride, and then more friends coming, and slowly they've also been accepted in the community, and then he got welcomed. And he started traveling to wherever Neil travels. Like, when he comes to Mumbai, he comes to Mumbai. He goes to the other Hyderabad or India or outside India, wherever they go, and they accompany. And that made him really, made him more mainstream and normal. Now he's almost a normal boy. He finished his hotel management now, and he had all the difficulty. Though he has that syllabus continuing, but you cannot make out that he has a problem. He is as good as talking to the people, or singing, or so showing his skills, and so he made his progress alongside with the sailing. So these two things are very, very close heart to me, so that I'm standing here to give this story, so that how she was saying that it is heart. So I'm really proud to be associated here, and I'm really thankful to Paresh, my great friend, and Zia, I don't have to tell you. So she's always with me, and we are also, I also doing one more promotional activity for my event. This is called WAVES, the World Audiovisual Entertainment Summit. We are coming from May 1st to 4th in Geo Convention Center. It's we are bringing the entire media and entertainment sector to India. So it's a big event. So please find time and then see that. It's a very good opportunity to find out how the future technologies. Thank you so much for the time given to me.
Fantastic. So here's a story which is about the magic, the power of what the oceans can do. And so thank you for sharing that, because it's a personal story. It's a true life story, and I'm sure many of you are parents here and would be inspired by it. What healing power the ocean has, and the life beneath, and the power that it has to give. So thank you really for sharing that. A heartfelt thanks, and of course, really formally we'd like to thank NFDC. We all know it as NFDC, for the support and for being there. And I did hear the most important line, this is a small beginning. And so we hope to take it to significantly larger heights, maybe be in different cities, and make it a bigger, better festival with the support of everybody here and with your support. Yes? So I hope we will do that. And I would request Paresh, our, the program director, the person who thought about this festival, to please present Mr. Ramakrishnan with a shawl. I'm going to ask Paresh to, so Paresh, if you could.
Thank you, Zia. And I welcome you all on a Sunday morning for this, I would technically say, third edition of the Ocean Film Festival. I'll not take much time, but just to rewind and tell you the brief history about this event. I was waiting for all these years why there is no Ocean Film Festival happening in the city. When the planet is 70% ocean, Mumbai is island city, and we don't have an Ocean Film Festival. So I was actually wanting that somebody starts, but nobody did. So finally I said, we have to do it. And we kicked off in 2022 with an event called Symposium and the Ocean Film Festival. So Symposium basically was a conclave that we used to have in the morning, first session, and in the evening we used to have an Ocean Film Festival. We did it for 2 years, 2022, 2023. In 2023, we invited Zia as one of the speakers. And she confirmed at the 11th hour, and finally she came. And since then, the association has been great. I think this year, Zia has played a major role in pushing this festival ahead. And Zia is the one who introduced us to NFDC. So that's how Zia, that is Aquasail and NFDC have come on board. And as I said, forget Mumbai, the whole country with 7,500 kilometers of coastline doesn't have an Ocean Film Festival. So we felt there was a dire need to create a platform where, films, good films, some conversations, some workshops, something happen in the city where people who love the ocean come together, we discuss, we see, we meet each other once a year at least. And that was a trigger, that's how we all got started. So thank you Aquasail, Zia, thank you NFDC for coming on board and taking it further. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. So we are going to watch this film. It's a classic from NFDC and it's called the Khalasis of Malabar. Okay, so we're going to see this. These are people who literally move the mountains. I mean, they're builders of ships. Okay, and it's their art in a very traditional way. They do amazing stuff because they create things that move on the ocean and help us to explore the ocean. So let's see a classic from NFDC, the Khalasis of Malabar. This must have been a little different film, I'm sure, than what you were expecting, but it's all about, moving from one sea to the other, which are all connected, and beautiful things like the sailboats and ships and the way people connected and across the world. Now I'm going to call Ashwini. Ashwini is going to introduce our next session, which is a wonderful masterclass by a fellow sailor. So Ashwini, welcome on behalf of NFDC.
Hi all, I hope you all are enjoying the show. Yes. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ocean Film Festival of India 2025, organized by EcoFox in collaboration with National Film Development Corporation. NFDC, as you all know, is the pioneer of cinema and the apex body of cinema in India. Is of course familiar to all of us. NFDC is creating global appreciation and celebration of Indian cinema around the world. Here's a quick wrap up for you about NFDC. Video please.
My name is Gandhi, Mohandas K. Gandhi.
मैं वचन दे चुका हूँ, द्रौपदी को छूने से पहले मेरा सर फोड़ना होगा।
बाजा बजाएंगे खास तुम्हारे लिए, ऐसा जादू दिखाएंगे कि दंग रह जाओगी।
मेरा नाम टिन टिन बाबा टिन
बेमिसाल फिल्में।
मेरे होते हुए तुम्हें और किसी की क्या जरूरत?
जिन्होंने फिल्मों को रुपहले पर्दे से उतारकर जिंदगी से जोड़ा।
जीते हैं शान से, हम किसी से कम नहीं। देख ले अच्छे से, मालकिन बन गई है तू।
दिल हूँ करे घबराए
कि कभी-कभी गलत ट्रेन भी सही जगह पहुंचा देती है। जब तक तोड़ेंगे नहीं तब तक छोड़ेंगे।
और हम सब की डेस्टिनीज एक दूसरे से कनेक्टेड है।
ওই ওই লালটা কাট, ওই লালটা কাট। ছাদে যাবার দরকার নেই।
राष्ट्रभाषा बांग्ला चाय, बांग्ला चाय, बांग्ला चाय।
दुनिया ने ऐसी फिल्मों को न सिर्फ सराहा बल्कि उन्हें सम्मानित भी किया।
The winner is Richard Attenborough for Gandhi.
Without Joe Child and Jake Everts and the National Film Development Corporation of India, the film would not have been made.
We are thrilled to announce our masterclass on an impelling topic, the sailor's eye, lessons from the sea, by Miss Dhanya Pilo. This session, which gives a unique opportunity to connect with the ocean on a deeper level, is specially curated for this festival by the Department of Masterclasses of National Film Development Corporation. Our speaker's insights, drawn from her experiences in sailing, conservation, and ethno-oceanography, promise to broaden our understanding of ocean preservation. This session will highlight the importance of the sea in climate regulation and coastal protection, where you all can discover how the past can guide a sustainable future. Our speaker, Ms. Dhanya Pilo, who is an Indian artist, designer, and filmmaker, is known for her work in creating unique visual experiences through blending art and technology. Recently, she was part of the historic all-women sailing Team Maiden that won the Ocean Globe Race. Now we can have a quick AV on our master speaker, please.
Hi, I'm Dhanya and I'm a filmmaker from Mumbai. I love Mumbai and I love walking around and exploring different parts of the city. And I see stories everywhere and you just can't catch all of it in your camera. So this hobby of mine that started as art is now an industry. And I'm dancing with the camera all the time now. Telling stories influences the audience's perceptions, and as a filmmaker, I'm guiding the audience to various aspects of the film and telling them which part to listen to, bringing people from all over the world together and bringing individual visuals all on one screen. I love the whole experience.
So, ladies and gentlemen, with a warm round of applause, let's welcome filmmaker, sailor, VJ, artist, curator, speaker, and trainer, Miss Dhanya Pilo, onto the stage. I hope you enjoyed our surprise video. And now it's time to felicitate our speaker. For that, I invite our dear General Manager, National Film Development Corporation, Mr. D. Ramakrishnan sir, who is a passionate sailor himself and also a father to an international sailing champion, Neelanand Ramakrishnan. It is our privilege and honor to welcome you, sir, to felicitate another fellow sailor and a great filmmaker, Ms. Dhanya, for National Film Development Corporation. Over to Ms. Dhanya for the inspiring masterclass.
Thank you so much. This has been completely a surprise video. I'm quite grateful for all this and to have the space to have this conversation with all of you. So far, everything that we have seen today has us still on land, right? And we are the Ocean Film Festival. So I want you to get out of your comfy zones on land and come with me into the ocean. Because the ocean is what really holds the whole planet together, the whole Earth. And that's what keeps the entire weather system, the Earth turning, everything is all connected, and that is what makes our day and night happen. We also have to thank the sun, along with the ocean and the land and all the humans together. We make this planet move. What is our collective imagination of the Earth's ocean? You've seen movies like The Perfect Storm, Titanic. These really have taken people out in the middle of the ocean so that you can explore and see what really the ocean holds. And then there's also The Life of Pi, where animals are also taking to the sea and exploring in case they couldn't swim. But welcome to my life. So as a kid, I would see paintings of postcards of sailboats in the background, and I'd be like, what is that? Why are they doing that, and how are they doing that? And I realized it was floating on the water, but also using the power of the wind. So using wind to propel a boat or vessel in the water is what sailing is. Our whole planet Earth is full of water. We are one with the ocean. And my experiments with wind started very young when my dad got his small little sailboat and it would float in the water. But yet, there were still questions in my mind of like, how is this thing working? How did, how did the Portuguese and the Dutch and the British sail into India? What is that story about? How did we get colonized? This is an old drawing of the Bombay Harbour, where the ocean was full of ships like this. These are actual sailboats. And they would sail downwind into India, come for trade, come for manufacturing, take pepper and spices and God knows what all they were taking away from us. But end of the day, they sailed into India, and that is how they also discovered different parts of the world. Sometimes we're lucky to even have ships like the Amerigo that came a couple of months ago to visit us and to get us an experience to see what tall ships are like. So sometimes if you're lucky, Bombay still holds some tall ships. If you look closely, a lot of India, in all the waterways, in the rivers, in the lakes, in the oceans, there are still a lot of different indigenous sailboats floating around. The word katamaran or catamaran also comes from a Malayali Tamil word of katamaran, which was basically cut the logs of wood and tie them together. And now that's used internationally as a catamaran, right? So India has a strong, strong maritime culture, strong water culture, and let us not forget it and let us go back and go swim, go sail, go whatever you want to do. But, don't be scared of the ocean. The ocean really holds so much life. And salt water is really good for the skin and for the health. So Bombay, as I grew up here, I was also very curious, but I was lucky enough to see this as I was growing up, in the distance. And I literally followed it and said, hey, how are you guys doing this? How does a boat sail? Like, can I try? I didn't think, a small kid, at that point I was maybe 15, 14. I didn't know I could do that, So I literally begged my way and somebody put me on a boat and I just started sailing after that. It was the most incredible thing where it gave the best of trekking, camping, mountaineering, climbing, hiking, swimming, all the things I love to do, I could put together in sailing. And if you're lucky and you continue sailing in Bombay, this is like literally 100 meters, 200 meters away from the gate where you'll start seeing dolphins. Bombay has two different kinds of dolphins, the bottlenose dolphins and the porpoise. And the bottlenose porpoises. These are kids who sail on single Optimus boats, and just look at the fun they're having, kids. I think you should join some of these workshops. And then you want to go ahead, you can also do some racing. And that's like an Indian team, it's an international race here on a laser class boat. Then you can go to even bigger boats where there's like 12 people on the boats, and you can have audiences and audiences on the boats as spectators as well as on land watching. So there's a lot of international races also happening at the same time. But this is the most exciting, America's Cup, where they're almost like space, like super fast boats. They are racing each other, and they literally, you can see they are not even touching water. So they are now flying. And that is the kind of sailing we're also doing these days. So 2023-24, I was part of the historic team Maiden, which is an all-women team which took part in a retro race, which means it's a race where you're using only old-school marine technology. No GPS, no laptops, no modern technology. So doing it the way the old maritime ships used to sail. And the race was to sail around the world, which is a circumnavigation, that means you have to cross the equator twice. And our route was from England, South Africa, New Zealand, South America, and back to England. And we were the only women's team that took part. There were 14 other teams, which were mixed teams. So Maiden is the boat, and it's a super special boat. That's the team. This is, I think, literally when we reached Auckland after our leg. But you can see the amount of equipment and the amount of life jackets and security that we're wearing, because while sailing is a great sport, we also have to be careful about safety, and you want to focus on the wind, you want to focus on sailing. And one of the most incredible things while we sailed the Southern Ocean for me was when we were sailing or surfing a really big wave, 200 meters ahead of us, or on the same wave, there was a whale surfing the same wave. And for me to fathom something like that even whales can surf like that, or maybe we learned it from them, I'm not a surfer. But it's incredible to see the animals enjoying the water themselves, the marine life. There's so much we don't know about them. Maiden also has an educational program simultaneously where they're educating kids and young girls and young people about the world and sailing, and why sailing is important and how sailing will help you change lives. That's the boat. These are all old school marine technology that we're using. And also sometimes you're just like in the middle of the ocean. We've not seen planes for a while. You're just seeing birds circling around you. Sometimes they're making eye contact and you're like, whoa, okay, they have our eyes on us. And sometimes you're sailing one way and in the opposite direction you notice like, oh wow, there's whales migrating the other way. And you're just seeing a lot of them. Every day, different whales. There's almost 100 varieties of whales. Sometimes you're climbing things and, it's, like I said, it's got bits of all kinds of sports involved in it. I also think it's very close to space travel. If you see this picture and then see our interiors of the boat, our bunks, our generators, our tools, it really looks like, and it really felt like, I was traveling in space when we were on the boat. Because you are literally in the middle of the ocean, and it's the closest thing to space travel. We were also eating space-like food, which is freeze-dried food. We even had freeze-dried ice cream, which is on the left. But we would take the food, 1,000 calories a day, 1,000 calories a meal actually, put it in hot water, and then wait for 5 minutes and then eat it. Freeze-dried food was pretty great because it saved us a lot of time from cooking. For future, when you're back at home, you can also watch the movie of Maiden. This is the first team that did the race 30 years ago, and they really changed the way women sailed in the world after that, and especially race, because women were not really given the opportunity to sail, especially big races, because they felt they couldn't cope. But Maiden really made it happen and changed the way, and it's allowed for people like me 30 years later to be part of such big races. And of course, did I mention we won the race? Yeah, we won the race. You can also watch the movie True Spirit, which was a story about this girl who sailed around the world solo. Okay, and she was 15, 16 when she did it. Beautiful movie, and Maiden also. Please watch it. It will just show how you can break barriers, and when you're told you can't do it because you're a woman, all the more reason for you to step up and say, hey, it doesn't work like that. Let's enjoy the planet together. Coming back to Bombay, if you're looking at Bombay from outside, this is what it looks like, or this. And somehow we've forgotten that Bombay is a coastal city and is an island, or many islands put together at one point. And such a big coastline, we should be having lots of water activities and sailing all over the place, if not swimming like dolphins around them. So Seabird class sailboats are what we have in Bombay, a lot of them. Now we are getting more boats and different kinds of boats. So originally they were like wooden hull boats. And in December last year, we actually came up with a plan to circumnavigate Bombay. So if you see the pink line, we wanted to, go around Bombay that way, because our senior friends used to sail like that. They would start from Gateway, go up the Thane Creek, and then come out through the Vasai Creek, sail the entire western coast, down Prongs Lighthouse, and come back to Gateway, and that would go over like 3 days. And this is the Prongs Lighthouse. And we would basically, as we would do this, you would also see all the old maritime monuments and structures and lighthouses, and there's so much of history of Bombay which is on the coast. A lot of the forts, the Bandra Fort, Mahim Fort, Vasai Fort, Khanderi, Sivri, all these are very important landmarks of the maritime things, and somehow we are not looking at them, or we're missing them, or we're not seeing it from the perspective of the waterfront and the importance that they actually hold and the beautiful sights that they give us. And all of these, remember, were old, ancient parts of the trade routes. So when the Arabs used to come in, or other people would come in, a lot of the goods, so like I believe in Vasai, that was for the pepper, or other places, each had their own specific importances. So your trade dependent on where you were going to actually stop. The flamingos of Mumbai are also quite a spectacle that you see as you sail around the city, if you do. Get on a ferry, get on a boat, get on a fisherman's boat, anything, just get a kayak, go out there. Seeing this is so incredible, and Bombay really has a lot of things that we don't realize is there. Like, would you even imagine like corals in Bombay, The sea also is a great place to see the wildlife and the humans kind of interact and cohabitate. We have corals. We have corals in Bombay, guys. I mean, there are pictures that are here, and also Marine Life of Mumbai. Pradeep is also here. Please interact with him and see what they do. Can you imagine this is like worldly sea face, and all different parts of Bombay still have a lot of wildlife and small creatures in the tide pools. So please take your time out and go and see them, We also have a lot of wildlife and creatures under the water. We don't see them, but doesn't mean that they're not there. Now, if I want to circumnavigate Bombay, I can't really do that in a lot of places because the rivers are just flooded with garbage. How can I take my boat through that? How can I take my kayak through that? How do I explore and see different parts of Bombay from its water sources? And literally we are heartbroken because we are not able to access some areas because of the same very problem, and siltation and garbage. So unless we all work together to stopping this nonsense, really, we're not really going to go too far, and we're going to choke our oceans, and we're going to choke the outlets that allow for our city to breathe and our oceans to breathe. The mangroves are very important for us, but somehow we don't understand their role. You can see just different parts of Bombay, the mangroves are there, but they are all choking. And it really surrounds Bombay, the mangroves, but it's just filled of plastic bottles. And you can, if you see different maps of Bombay, there's just mangroves everywhere, and now they are slowly depleting, and also people are hacking and destroying them. So I think it's a big cause of concern. And there's some great warriors led by my friend Dharmesh, who are actively cleaning it, but they need tons more volunteers, and every one of us can be representatives of our own areas and the mangroves around us. That's my website, and if you want to do more sailing, Sailing Resources India is a website we've made with just information all over India about sailing. Just want to quickly show my video, which is about me sailing in Maiden, and it'll give you an idea of what ocean sailing looks like. Just starting with a small clip of, because we were based in London while we were getting ready for the race, we also got the opportunity to sail under the Tower Bridge, which was pretty incredible for me because they open it for literally 10 minutes for us to sail through, and to do that, to move the boat in a canal in London is also something we don't really think can be done. I have purposely kept the audio off for this because I want you to have the visual thrill of this. So sailing old school way requires a lot of human endurance, a lot of know-how, and there's a lot of rules that you can't do this and that, and we of course get very tempted to use modern technology, but it's an old boat, and look at all the ropes that we have to use, and there's no engine, there's no motor, you're purely using the wind energy and the solar energy and the salt water, and yeah, it's essentially the wind power which is moving us around. So we're also looking at the clouds, we're looking at the waves, we're looking at which wave the waves are coming. Sometimes they're all coming from all different directions at the same time, and somebody asked me once, like, how is it to be in big waves in a big storm? And my answer was, it felt like a really smooth roller coaster, you know? And these sails are really big and they're really heavy. Every time you want to change your gear or move a different direction, you're bringing these sails down and you're putting a new sail up. So it's pretty heavy, and you have to use ropes and the mind power to get things going and up. One thing about the Khalasis that I realized was, like, when they made the boats, they were actually so incredibly doing it with all their strength. And the difference with this boat is this is a fully aluminium boat, and the boats the Khalasis were making and lifting and moving were completely made out of wood. It's fantastic. So this is a sextant, which was the old device used to take readings from the sun and the horizon to mark where you are on the charts. And if you had no sun or the moon to give you that indication, you technically didn't know where you were in the water, in the ocean. We're all wearing a lot of protective layers because the wind is really strong and it's really cold. And the thing about salt water is, once you get wet, you don't really dry. Unlike with regular water, like fresh water, you get wet, you dry. So once you get wet, you don't really ever dry. And the maiden team was incredible because it had women from 9 different countries all working together of different age groups. Yeah, it was incredible to see so many different women with different techniques of sailing, and then we were all able to bring it together to, you know, win this race. It was pretty much game-changing. And you just need everyone to work together to make the boat move. And there's so many layers, like you see the black thing on the side, that's like this extra sails kept there. If you don't tie things down properly, things will fly off and you'll never get it back. You also do maintenance on the boat as it's moving. And the race was called the Ocean Globe Race, the OGR. And the next one they'll have in 2027. So if any of you want to be a part of that race or set up a team, this is a good time to start working towards it. Because it takes a couple of years to build your team and resources to go sailing around the world. And after weeks and weeks of sailing, you finally reach land and you see islands, and you know, it's an incredible feeling to also come back to land. But the ocean is special, the ocean is wonderful, and there's so much to learn about resilience from the ocean.
Thank you, ma'am. Engaging session with all the presentation. I hope you all enjoyed it, the session. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So I know you all have a lot of questions to ask. Within the time limitation, we can choose 3. Please raise your hands.
Hi, just a quick question. How did you learn all these retro technologies? Like, what was the learning curve like? How did you go about it? There are no YouTube videos of it, I'm sure.
Oh, there are tons of YouTube videos, but also begging and asking tons of people who still know how to use it. There's a transition happening because the new school is coming and the old school is somehow fading. So unless we trace out people who know a lot of these old things and then call them to give us workshops, yeah, it's still around, so very much there for taking.
I have a question. I saw everything is old school, but the food is like very modern, right? Like it's all packaged and condensed. So I wanted to know like how people used to food like in the sea like before, like 50 years back. Because I mean right now it's all condensed, packaged in plastic. But I'm pretty sure it wasn't the case like before, right? So
yeah, but freeze-dried has been around for a while.
Okay.
But then if you actually even go back a while ago, some of the teams actually even had a chef on the board. Some, like the French team was making like bread, fresh bread and stuff. So you could do what you wanted depending on what resources you had. We wanted to focus on sailing. We literally took up our doors, made the boat even lighter. We were going for kill, you know. we had to prove a point. So we just like got away with just doing a lot of simpler stuff and what is important. You can cook. One of the girls did try making a cake for someone's birthday. So that we had that allowance, but you didn't want to spend all your time doing that. But then there is also a lot of ways where you could take food for longer distance. So like eggs, boiled eggs, if you boil it, you can use it for 10 days. So you boil a whole bunch of them and keep them. So like that, you can do that with different kinds of foods. Keep them dried, keep them fresh, keep them fun. Of course, you could catch fish, but then again, do you want to spend your time catching fish or do you want to be sailing a race? So there you take the difference. But if you're just cruising around the world, you can do all kinds of things. Yeah, it's a whole life open there. There are people who sold their houses, bought a boat with their families and 2 kids, and you know they live out of a boat. So please explore, please see what people are doing in the sailing world around the world. There are communities where there are just 50 boats and there are families in them, and then they decide that okay, one lady will teach math to all the kids today and then another lady on Thursday will teach geography to the kids. So there are a lot of communities and a lot of community events around sailing. And opportunities for kids to also go on like sailing trips on big tall ships where they learn how to be a pirate and just learn to sail the old school way.
Hello, thank you for the engaging session. I had a question that, like, since there are no use of modern technologies or anything, like, are people like at the risk of getting lost, like in the sea? And I also had a second question, like in same line. Like, do you also cross territories, like such as Point Nemo or anything, like where like land is the farthest, like, and it's the farthest you can be in the waters?
In the Southern Ocean, we were in literally the point where we were not, we couldn't go below the 50s, you know. So that was like our last point. If you cross that, you got disqualified in the race. But there were weeks and weeks where you don't see land. Oh well, Murphy's Law, you know, when things can go wrong, things can go wrong. But on hindsight, you're on a boat, you're floating, sometimes there's no wind, but you wait it out, you drift till the wind comes in. Nowadays, modern technology allows you to get on satellite and connect. A lot of people use protection like EPIRBs, which are devices that you literally, it's on the boat or on life jackets that you're actually pressing, and then it goes to satellite. And they know that you are doing an SOS or somebody's fallen off the boat and you're not able to rescue it. And there's a whole network of satellite agencies and international agencies that make sure that then the information is relayed to different coast guards, different countries, and whoever's the closest is then relayed to say, hey, can you go there? You seem to be closest. And they will try to go there to help. But if you're really in the middle of the ocean and you know, if you're really far away, things can get dangerous. But that is why safety is of most importance, and it's important to tell people where you're going, you know, have that communication on. And also, the one thing we were allowed to do while we were on the race was, if another ship or sailboat came by, we would get onto VHF radio, which is our communication radio facility, and you could literally say hello to them and say, hi, you know, can you give us weather information, or can you, you know, tell us what's happening in the world, because we are not really connected to the world, we are in the water. So you can communicate to other fishing vessels, other merchant ships while you're floating, and sometimes it's nice to say hello, you know, when you see neighbors temporarily in the water. Yep, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, to extend our gratitude to the speaker, on behalf of NFDC, I request Ms. Gauri Nair, Head Programming, Masterclasses and Domestic Film Festivals, NFDC, to please come onto the stage for word of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. I think we started 10 minutes late, and we have almost caught up with the time, and we are actually winding up at the right time, and from here on, I think we are again on the schedule back. So again, that's congrats to my team for, you know, rolling it up at the right time. So my job is to say thanks to all of you. Say my first gratitude to Managing Director, National Film Development Corporation, Mr. Pratul Kumar sir. Any initiative that you take to him, anything that is new, obviously that will be risky. He won't think twice. He just give that go ahead, and he'll tell, take it through Rama, go ahead. So the next, thank you Pratul sir for allowing us to come up with something like this. And next is that particular name, that specific name Pratul sir mentioned, take it through Rama. That Rama is the one who is sitting here, our General Manager, NFDC, Mr. D. Ramakrishnan sir. He is, unlike Pratul sir, whenever and whatever I take to him, he don't give approvals that easy. And after everything, he give a sentence. Before doing anything, just think, always think, I am NFDC. Then you will get the answer, whether this project is of yours or not. So I end up giving up on most of the projects. Because when I start thinking I am NFTC, I start getting loopholes, I start seeing less transparency, and I say no to it. So thank you, sir. And I'm sure that we have made you proud. We have taken the right decision this time. And thank you so much for the approvals. And because of sir giving this I am NFDC code to me, the person who suffered is the festival director, Mr. Paresh. Because when he came to sir, as Zia said, he open-heartedly welcomed them and gave them, wow, this is something really wonderful, Ocean Film Festival, we should do it. And he sent them to me with the statement, I am NFDC. Then I looked at Paresh, each paper he submitted, each proposal he gave, I made sure that he's coming up 100 times with even a grammatical change in that, is, was, or everything. So that there is no guideline is questioned, or there is nothing that we are against of that our country or our government want us to do it. But thank you, Paresh, for your true spirit that you never gave up. Even till the last moment, I almost gave him all the courage to give up, but he didn't give up. He made sure that we are doing it on 6th April. We finalized on 23rd March, and even a week before or so, we almost had to, leave hopes on that, give up hopes. But then again, he came up and said, no, Gauri, we are doing it. And yes, we did it. We are in it. Thank you, Paresh, for that energy. And I wish you, and in fact, we wish you all the best. And I'm sure that you will make it bigger next time. And that little woman sitting on the front row, Ms. Zia, she has come at all ocean, all colors. Whenever me and I am with that I am NFDC tag, and Paresh is like, no, somehow guide me and support me. She was the connecting dot in between. And that's a EcoFox, Aquasail, and NFDC here together with all of you. Thank you, Sia. Thank you so much. And next is Ms. Dhanya Pilo. We are Masterclass in Domestic Film Festival Department, and we do it for our home festivals like International Film Festival of India, Mumbai International Film Festival, and for NMIC, NFAI, so all inside our home. So this is the first, or maybe the maiden initiative that we are doing outside our walls and with collaborating with Ocean Film Festival, and we chose Dhanya, the right spirit that we have got. Any event or any festival that we take up or any session that we take up, we feel equal excitement like the first time that we are doing. So it will be always the same. And we never expected morning 9 o'clock when we start this inauguration of the festival, we never thought the hall will be this full. We're so proud that you recognized and you accepted our initiatives. Thank you so much, dear team. We are all one team. Thanks a lot on behalf of NFDC. Thank you so much. Also, I thank the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India, for always supporting us with any great and good maiden initiatives that we always bring in. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
I would also like to invite my team here who present and making this Masterclass. Masterclass is a division of National Film Development Corporation, especially they curate masterclasses and panel sessions in various film festivals in India and abroad. So this is the team from NFDC who has been working on this.